Okay, today's reading comes from All About Love by Bell Hooks. And I'm going to just read this short paragraph from page 68. In an ideal world, we would all learn in childhood to love ourselves. We would grow, being secure in our worth and value, spreading love wherever we went, letting our light shine. If we did not learn self-love in our youth, there is still hope. The light of love is always in us. No matter how cold the flame, it is always present, waiting for the spark to ignite, waiting for the heart to awaken and call us back to the first memory of being the life force inside a dark place, wanting to be born, waiting to see the light. And her definition of love is the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. And that is Bell Hooks for today. Hello there. My name is Lori. I am the daughter of Harriet, who is the daughter of Daisy, who is the daughter of Ether. And I'm here knitting and spinning and sewing little hexagons together, which is my new obsession. And I just wanted to talk about how this world of craft, of making, shouldn't be a luxury for middle-class white women. It should be something that everybody gets to enjoy. And I'm thinking about Adela Colvin, who runs Lolabean Yarns, her story of learning to knit and how fabulous it was, and she was so excited. And she went into a yarn store to try this thing out, and this woman came up to her and was like, "What do you want?" It was really snippy and rude to her, and presumed that she couldn't afford the yarn. And so Adela just said, "To hell with this," and she left and went home and made her own yarn. And now she runs Lolabean Yarn, and it's a huge success. So, the moral of that story is, like, don't be racist, number one. And number two, fuck all y'all. I can do my own thing and do it better. So, but it also got me thinking about, that story gets repeated over and over and over again. That black and brown person comes into a yarn store and gets turned away. So the craft community, my values are at the intersection of craft and feminism and anti-racism, and I believe in the inherent dignity and worth of all human beings, and that goes into what I believe, because crafting is political. You bring your white self or your black self or whatever your self is into that room when you're crafting. So people who say, "Oh, I'm just knitting," you're not just knitting. You're bringing all that shit with you. So I want to talk about me as a black woman so most of the time, the only or one of very few black or brown people in the room, and what that means to this lovely, wonderful world of craft that everybody should enjoy. So here's what I'm knitting today. This is a pattern called the Pop Hat by Lee Meredith. It's a free pattern online. So instead of so here's the traditional, I did this top down. I made this little spiral. It's kind of pretty. Your traditional hat has ribbing on the bottom, and then it shapes to the shape of a top of a head on the top. And mostly it's knit in the round, and you either knit from the bottom up or the top down, or you can knit it rectangle or whatever. This is a different way of knitting. I haven't sewn in my end, so forget, don't look at the ends. So this is a different way to knit a hat. You cast on, and I use 2 different colors so you can totally see. So you cast on a provisional cast on, and then knit sideways like this, like a regular, you know, back and forth. This is, I'm making another one. So you knit back and forth like this, and you knit, these 10 stitches are knit on the front and the back, so it's, you know, it's garter stitch on both sides. And this you knits on the front, purls in the back, and you just keep doing that till you get, you know, just around and around, and you're to get to 19 inches, 20 inches, and 21 inches, something like that. And then you stop knitting, and then you take out the provisional cast on and put a needle in those live stitches, and then the needle that, you know, you just finished, you do a 3 needle bind off all the way across, or you can Kitchener or whatever. And the patterns is pretty cool because she gives you like a choose your own adventure, kind of like, well, you could do a provisional cast on, or you could do, you know, just regular cast on and then graft the stitches later or whatever. So she gives you lots of options. It's pretty cool. And then when you're done, you make this, it makes this kind of tube thing, and then you pick up stitches at the top and then do your decreases. I did, mine like puckered a lot. So I think what I'm going to do with the next one, like she said, do like knit 3, knit 2 together, knit 3, knit 2 together, knit 3, knit 2 together, and then do a regular, and then knit 2 together, and then do a regular, and then knit 1. So the decreases were really sharp. So I think I'll start with like knit 5 or knit 6, knit 2 together, or something like that, so the decreases aren't so too much or whatever. And then it's just, you know, and there you go, it's a hat, you know. So for this one, so she said to use, so for this one I used DK weight yarn, which I love this yarn. It's so stretchy and squishy and yummy. It's wonderful. And I used the size, what did I use? I used size 6 needles, I think. I don't know. I always have to go down. I'm a loose knitter, so I have to go down a needle size or 2. So she suggested using DK weight yarn for this thing. So for this one, I just got, I have so much, I have more sock yarn than any one person should reasonably have. So, so I'm taking 2 balls of yarn together, and then I had to go up a needle size to get the right, you know, the right measurement. To get this length is like, I don't know, 8.5 inches or something like that. So it works with this yarn stranded together and size 7 needles, and it's easy to, you know, when you knit with 2 strands together, you just knit like you ordinarily would. You just hold the yarn together at the same time, and it's fine. You can totally knit like this. And so that's what I'm knitting today. And then when I'm done with all of these hats, you know, my regular hat, these hats, I'm going to give them to some homeless sheltery person, people who are doing stuff, you know, helping homeless people. I don't know, maybe I'll just hand them out. There's a woman down the street that she's just like, she needs some help. I really want to help her. So I'm gonna see if she wants a hat, and whoever else wants a hat, I'll just give them out.